I am putting this in the beginning of the video because I know some of you guys do not watch all the way to the end. It's okay, I'm not judging you. But I did want to let you know I'm going to be doing a question and answer video sometime soon. So any questions you have for me, whether it's teaching or whether it's a personal question for me, leave them down in the description and I'm going to compile them all and do my best to answer them in an upcoming video. So any questions you have for me, go ahead and leave them down in the description, and I hope you enjoy this video. Good morning, guys. It is Wednesday, January the 11th. Yes, you heard that correctly. We ended up having not one, but 2 snow days. So we had no school Monday or Tuesday, and this morning we had a 2-hour delay. So it's currently 9 a.m. and I'm just now leaving, which is awesome. So instead of the kids coming in at 8:15 and starting at 8:45, they will come in at 10:15 and start at 10:45. So I do have to get to school and make some copies. I'm trying not to stop for coffee on the way. We'll see if I'm successful. I really, really want it. Like, I'm not tired, I just crave the taste really bad. I'm gonna get to school, make my copies, and then I think I still have my PLC meeting, so I guess instead of 7:45 it would be at 9:45, but we'll see. If not, I'll have a little bit of extra time.
Loans approval and loan amount based on estimated refund.
So it's about 9:30. I just got to school. I know that some teachers, when you have a delay, you like to get there like regular time so that you have a lot of time in the morning. I'm not one of those people. I love my sleep. I would rather sleep in, get there at normal time, and I would much rather stay after school to get work done. That's just me. So I'm gonna go ahead, get copies done, and then I'm gonna show you guys some things that I bought over the weekend. So I told you guys how my students were loving the fake food for indoor recess, and they've been playing restaurant for the past week, and it's been so adorable. So I got this tablecloth from HomeGoods. It was on clearance for only $5, and I figured that would be good for them. I also got this felt pizza set from HomeGoods. It was a little expensive. I think it was like $15, but it does have a little tray, which is cute. And then this box folds up like a pizza box. And there's a lot of different like vegetables and things, toppings for the pizza. So I did get them this just because I think it's really cute to watch them play. Also from HomeGoods, I got these page markers. They're like magnetic clips, and I'm probably going to use these in my teacher planner just to mark some of the pages. And I also got this mouse pad. Not that I use a mouse very often, but I do have a wireless mouse for my computer, and anything black and gold gets my attention. The last thing were these page markers. These were from the Target dollar spot, so these were only $1, and again, I'm probably going to use these in my teacher planner. I also got this black plastic hamper from Walmart. I think it was like $6 or $7 from Walmart, and you can see right now it's just carrying all of my crap inside. But I'm going to use this to store their indoor recess stuff because right now it's just all over the floor over there under that desk. So I'm gonna try to clean that up and keep it all in this bin. We'll see if it works, but I'll show you guys how it turns out later. Last but not least, if you saw my planning video, you saw that I needed Oreos. I did go ahead and grab these, although I could not find the mega stuffed Oreos, which is like triple stuffed. So I just got double stuffed, and I'm probably gonna just lie to them and tell them that it's triple stuffed. I'm a horrible person. So of course, I go to check my email before I go to make copies, and we have an email saying that the copier that I use is down. Canon is coming to fix it, which it actually might work out in my favor. Because we had a 2-hour delay, that means I have to cut out basically 2 hours worth of stuff from my day. So I'm just gonna have to unfortunately cut out the stuff that I needed copies for because I can't go to make them right now. So it is now my lunchtime, but I'm actually not hungry because it was a delay and I didn't eat breakfast until like almost 10 o'clock. I'm actually pretty good right now, so I might snack on a couple things. I am gonna get my guided reading stuff set up for this afternoon because this really is the first time I'm doing guided reading since coming back from break because I had to bass a kid and getting them back in the routine of Daily 5. So I'm gonna take just a couple of minutes, get that set up so that hopefully my groups go pretty smoothly this afternoon. Plus, I have a data paper that I need to turn in by the end of the day. So I've got to get that finished up. Problem is it's on my computer and I can't print it out because the copier is not working. So I'm gonna have to find a way around that. But I'm gonna use this time, get some little odds and ends done, and then I will catch up with you guys when my class goes to special. Also, burnt my popcorn. So my room is gonna smell like burnt popcorn for probably the next week. All right, so here are my guided reading plans for today. I do need to fill in the sight words for 2 of my groups, and I need to fill in the vocabulary. I have no idea why I didn't do that. And then I have my copies of the books over here just with some sticky notes in them to help me out. This is where my students actually meet at this round table. I really wish I had a kidney table, but for right now, round will have to do. My students just grab a stool and pull it up, and then this rectangular table at the back is where I keep all of my stuff for guided reading. These colored bins are how I organize my groups. I do organize them by color, and this is where I store their books, and then in between I have the binder for each different level, and inside of these binders, this is where I keep all of my objectives. So all I have to do is pull out the one that we're working on, and I store it right here with this little easel. This came from Dollar Tree. It was only $1. So teacher fail, I completely forgot to take my kids to music. We have music early on F days, and I just totally forgot today since everything is off because of our schedule with 2-hour delay and having 2 days off. And we were doing guided reading and daily 5, and I got a phone call from the music teacher saying, "Are you coming?" So I missed 5 minutes of my planning, which means I only have 25 minutes left. I need to stuff Tuesday folders and get them ready to go home, and I need to clean up my guided reading table because my kids had to leave in a rush and everything is a hot mess. So I'm gonna quickly get that done, and then hopefully we'll have a more relaxing afternoon. I'm doing an opinion writing mini lesson with them and something else, vocabulary. We're reviewing vocabulary, and then it's the end of the day and we get to go home. Y'all, just finished stuffing Tuesday folders, and then what gets delivered to me? More papers for Tuesday folders. So here's an update with the indoor recess stuff. I actually really like this laundry basket. It's the perfect size. So this has their games, their Legos, the fake food, all that is nice and organized, and it fits perfectly right under the desk. It's the perfect height, and then it's nice and wide so I can fit a lot in there. And then I ended up turning this desk around to store like this big grill that they use at recess, and their plates and their menus and all that fit perfectly in there. So to the naked eye, my classroom looks fairly clean and organized, and then you come to this back counter, and I just have stacks and stacks of books that need to get labeled and put in my library, but right now I just don't have the time. However, these iPads are driving me nuts. So I got the iPads from Donors Choose, which I'm extremely grateful for. And then this charging dock I bought myself off of Amazon so I can charge them all at once, which is awesome. However, these ridiculously long charging cords are driving me absolutely nuts. They get tangled and the kids struggle to figure out which one goes to which iPad. I bought these short ones. They're like 5 or 6 inches, and I really liked that they were colored. However, I was not very smart. I did not buy the right ones. I need to get the lightning cables for the iPad. So one of my goals tonight is to go on Amazon and find some like 5 or 6 inch charging cables and get those ordered so I can take care of this hot mess. Good news is I was able to be super productive during dismissal today. Usually I have students with me for the half-an-hour dismissal, but because we had to get here early for our PLC meeting, on those days we get to send our students to a different room to be dismissed so that we have extra time. So I was able to get my assistant plans all laid out for tomorrow for math. So I went ahead and I got their book opened up to the right page with the decks of cards and the symbol cards that they need. I recommend if you have a bunch of decks of cards and you don't want them to get mixed up, if you label them with a number, and then I'll show you quickly. All I did was write the number in the top corner of each card. It is time consuming, but that way when the students find a card on the ground, they can quickly look at the number and they know which box it goes back to. So it's about 4:30 now. I'm about ready to get out of here. My desk is actually in pretty good shape. I'm throwing this away because it's burnt and it stinks and my kids were complaining, but the rest of it's not too bad. Cool thing is, I thought I only got 1 pack of these, but they were stuck together. So I only paid for 1 pack, but I actually got 2 packs, which is awesome. And I've already used one of these in my teacher planner. I can show you guys later tonight what I did with that. I need to take these papers home and grade them. I am happy that I cleaned out my classwork bin. Not so happy that I have to grade tonight because I didn't have time to get it done today, but that's okay. So for now, I need to put clips into Class Dojo. I need to change my schedule, and this should probably get changed to January. Do I think that's gonna happen anytime soon? No, I'll probably just wait till February. But otherwise, my room is in pretty good shape. It's not too bad. So it is a Wednesday. I typically leave early on Wednesdays because I have a lot to do at the gym. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I will catch up with you guys later tonight. So it's about 12:15. I just got into bed. I'm ready to go to sleep for the night. By the time I got back from the gym and showered and ate dinner, it was like 8:30. So I spent just a couple of hours working on my objectives to post in my TPT store. I know you guys have seen them on my board, and I showed them to you today for guided reading. They are coming to my store, I promise. They should be up this weekend. I will let you guys know once they're actually posted. But when I was leaving school today, I was feeling very frustrated because I feel like as teachers, every year there's more and more and more put on us, yet we're not given more time to be able to do it. And I feel like it's fighting a losing battle. There's no way to get it all done, and it's very frustrating and overwhelming at times to feel like that. But then I checked my email tonight, and I had an email from my principal telling me that I was nominated as Teacher of the Year for my school, which feels really, really good. Although I can't actually be nominated because I haven't been teaching 5 years. But it still feels good to know that I was nominated and to hear my principal and vice principal tell me that I'm doing a really good job, especially after my whole observation fiasco last week, which I'm still waiting to hear back on. But as soon as I do, I will let you guys know. So I'm in a much better mood than I was earlier, and I'm gonna go ahead and get to bed, and I will catch up with you guys in the morning. Good morning. It is Thursday, January the 12th. It's about 7:35 in the morning, and I'm about to head to school. I didn't know it was possible to be this tired after just one day of school this week, and yesterday was a delay, so I didn't even get up early. It's my first time getting up early all week, and I'm just absolutely exhausted. Although, now that I think about it, I didn't fall asleep until like 1:30 in the morning, so I really shouldn't be surprised, but I need to fix that because it's not good to go to bed that late and then get up early. It just does not do anyone any favors. But on a positive note, today should be a pretty easygoing day. The firemen are coming today at 9:30 to read to second grade, so that'll take up 30 to 45 minutes. Then my students go to art, and then my students have PE this afternoon. So it's a double special day, plus the firemen are coming. So hopefully I'll be able to get a lot done. I'm gonna head to school, but I am gonna get coffee on the way because right now I just think that's gonna make me a much happier teacher, and that would benefit both me and my students. Also, these papers I brought home to grade were not even touched last night at all. All right, so it is now my planning time. It's about 10:15. I just took my students to art. It is like 100 degrees in my room, zero exaggeration. I am sweating so bad. I have windows open, but it's not helping. So I think what I'm gonna do is get done what I have to do in here and then grab some papers to like grade and go somewhere else to do it, somewhere a little bit cooler because this is absolutely miserable. But so far, my kids have done really well this morning. We're gonna finish up with math when they get back from art because we didn't have a lot of time this morning. So far, so good. The assistant I have in my room in the morning for my math small group is absolutely amazing. She had everything cleaned up for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned up. And since I don't have my assistant in my room for my phonics small group today, I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up for math small group in the morning. I'm officially up to date with my grading again. So now I'm going to go through their Tuesday folders, check to see if there's any papers. I'm going to give them each a dojo point for turning them in, put them in number order, and then put them back up in that green container where I store them. So the Tuesday folders are all put away. I only have about 5 minutes left of my planning, but I did think of some things that I need to do. I need to create a letter for Valentine's Day to send home, and I also need to create the January newsletter because I just got our school newsletter yesterday. So I went ahead and just added this to my to-do list. This is why I like to keep an extra copy of this in my teacher planner. That way, whenever I think of something, I can just quickly jot it down in case I don't have time to get it done. Also, this is that magnetic bookmark that I showed you guys yesterday, so it just makes it really easy to find the page. And then I also have one here marking my day overview, so that's really easy to find as well. And then all the extra ones I'm just storing here on the pocket inside my binder. So it's now lunchtime. My class only had like 5 minutes of their recess because I made them practice transitioning during Daily 5 and coming into the classroom the right way because for whatever reason they have completely forgotten this week. So they had to practice until they did it perfectly, and I'm hoping that it won't happen again. So I actually feel really good right now because my desk is clear, my grading's all done, and I still have planning this afternoon, which means hopefully I will be able to actually plan during my planning so that I don't have to do it this weekend. So I currently have a dilemma because I want to go pop my popcorn, and I took my shoes off during lunch because my feet were hurting, and I really don't feel like putting them back on, but I feel like someone is bound to judge me if I go into the hallway barefoot. I'm documenting this for future reference so that I don't forget. These small popcorn bags, perfect cook time is 1 minute 15 seconds, where most of the bag is popped, but none of the pieces are burnt. So it's about 2:20. I just took my class to PE, and I'm absolutely exhausted because when we got back from lunch, one of the classes was supposed to have a substitute, and the substitute wasn't here, and we had to split that class. So I had my class plus half of that class, and my room was already like 100 degrees because it's super hot in here today, and I was just not having it whatsoever. It just drained me very, very quickly. So my class is now at PE. I know I said I was going to plan during my planning time. However, there is a meeting going on in the media center, and that's where my copier is, which means I can't go in there and make copies. So I think instead I'm just going to go through their papers from Daily 5, and I'm going to be a mean teacher because I am so sick of them not putting their names on their paper. If I find a paper with no name, I am throwing it away and they're redoing it because I am just done. It is January. Write your name on your paper. It's not that hard. So all these lovelies that have no name are going in my favorite recycling bin that I call the trash. All right, guys, here's your proof. It is 3:49. I am done. My desk is completely clear. Everything is graded. I didn't get planning done for next week, but that's okay. I am getting out of here. We are probably going to go to trivia tonight, and I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to go have a good night, and I'm not going to worry about schoolwork, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it, because I feel like most of the time if I don't do anything for school, I feel guilty, and I shouldn't. I've done my work for the day. I'm going home. I'm going to have a good night. I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Not the last one leaving, and we went from having 10 inches of snow to it being 65 degrees outside in 5 days. It is absolutely beautiful out here. So I ended up not going to trivia, but it actually worked out. I remembered that tomorrow we are doing a day of kindness at my school in memory of a student that passed away a couple years ago. So I decided to get these Oreo mini bags, and I just quickly made up this tag, and I'm stapling it to all of the bags. It says just a little something out of the blue. So I will put this in my TPT store as a freebie if you want to use it. You could use it with any blue snack. It doesn't have to necessarily be Oreos. I know this is really sad, but I don't actually know how many staff members we have, so I've prepped 48 bags, and I'm hoping that's going to be enough. Good morning. It is Friday, January the 13th, and no, I'm actually not going to complain about the date. Yes, it is Friday the 13th. It is also a full moon. However, you can choose to have a negative attitude about it, and that's going to end up affecting your day, or you can choose to have a positive attitude about it and have a great day, and that's what I'm choosing. So I got up extra early. It's only about 7 o'clock, and I'm already leaving. That never happens, especially voluntarily on a Friday. But I know that I am just overall a happier person when I get up early, once I actually wake up. I'm not a happy person when I first wake up, but once I actually get up, I'm a much happier person because I don't feel as rushed, and I'm just a lot more laid back, and overall that makes me a much better teacher. So I got up early. I plan to get to school and get these random acts of kindness with the out of the blue Oreo cookies in the teacher mailboxes before most of them get there. And then I'm going to use the extra time to sit and plan and actually be able to enjoy my coffee for once instead of trying to gulp it down. Speaking of coffee, I'm going to go get some, and I'm also going to pay for the person's coffee behind me to go along with our kindness day at school. And I like to do that about once a month because it's easy. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but it can completely turn someone's day around. You guys, I'm literally just sitting in the drive-thru at Dunkin' because there's no one behind me. Hi, can I get a medium iced vanilla latte and one of the chocolate frosted donuts with sprinkles, please?
Anything else?
Nope, that'll be it.
Okay, pull around.
Great, thank you.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
And can I pay for the person behind me too?
I just got a medium.
Okay, problem. Thank you.
No, you just don't.
No, I didn't know. Thank you. You too. So much for getting good karma today because this just happened. So it's about 7:30, I'm at school. I went ahead and just put all of the treats in the teacher mailboxes, and now I'm gonna spend a little bit of time planning. Obviously, I've not had the best start to a day that I've ever had, but you know, every negative, there's always a positive. And yes, I spilled my coffee, but at least I had the money to be able to buy coffee, and a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to be able to do that. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal, and I'm just gonna have to run on whatever energy I have in my body today instead of relying on caffeine. So this is horrible, but this is the first chance I've had to vlog today, and it's 2:30 in the afternoon. I couldn't vlog at lunch because I had students for lunch bunch, and then this is my first special, my only special for the day, and it's at 2:30. So I have a lot of grading to get done because we did catch up in pickles, which means my students were bringing me finished work, and we took a lot of quizzes this afternoon. We took a language quiz and a comprehension check, so I need to grade those, and I feel like that's going to take most of my special time, but I also need to get copies made. I was planning on staying pretty late after school, but I have been struggling to keep my eyes open today, and I would love to get home and be able to take a nap just because I feel absolutely exhausted, and I need to edit this video and get it put up. So I would like to try to get as much done during my planning time now so that I don't have to stay too late after school. So I'm gonna go ahead, get some work done, and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. So I'm officially caught up on my grading, so now I'm gonna go make my copies. So I always bring a handful of binder clips with me whenever I go to make copies. That way, as soon as they come out of the printer, I can just stack them together and go ahead and put the binder clips on. So I just made my copies. I'm going to quickly show you what I am using. Next week I'm focusing on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for both reading and social studies. So I just picked out what I knew was going to work for me. There's no way I can ever use all of it. So this is just a basic fact quiz because this Rooted in Reading is designed to be used with pretty much any MLK book. So I'm going to use this in social studies, and I'm also going to use the vocabulary in social studies. I've been really struggling to get everything into my reading block, so I'm going to really focus on the vocabulary associated with MLK during my social studies time. This is just a fiction passage, which I like to do at least once a week. This is really good for read to self during daily 5, and then they answer the comprehension questions, which helps hold them accountable, and it helps to give you some data on how they're progressing. Then for reading, we're really going to focus on nonfiction text features and using them to find key facts, because when I analyzed my data from the last reading benchmark that we did in our county, my students really struggled with text features, even though we've been working on them since the beginning of the year. They can identify them, but they can't use them to locate information. So I'm going to start by doing this sort just as a whole group mini lesson, and this is really just going to be me modeling, but I'll have them help me out. Obviously, I only printed one copy. I'm just going to cut them out, and we're going to do the sort kind of together as a class. Then these are mini posters that they are going to put in their reading notebooks. So this gives them information on how to use bold words, how to use an index, and how to use a subheading to locate information. And then we're going to do this kind of together as a class. So we're going to go through one of the nonfiction books that I use for MLK and go through those text features and how to use them. And then this will be kind of a quick assessment for me to see how they're doing with that, because here they have to highlight the key events and they have to use those subheadings and they have to use the bold print to be able to locate the key events. So this will give me a good glimpse into how they are doing with that. So now I'm going to go through and pull out my vocabulary cards and my book, and I keep these all stored in these iris bins that came from Michael's, and this holds about 6 months at a time. So in here I've already pulled out the vocabulary cards, and I just keep each book in a plastic baggie, and then I keep them all in this bigger baggie. And I keep any extra copies that I didn't use the year before, I just put them back in here. So I actually have some writing pages, which is really good because I may have enough time for my students to do an opinion writing piece on MLK. I wasn't sure, so I didn't print off the copies, but I have this just in case as a backup, which is really nice. And then I have the books all underneath. So I really like to do Martin's Big Words. And if you use Bookflix at your school, there's also a Bookflix recording of this. So I'm going to focus on this as like my main read aloud, and then I'm also going to mix in some nonfiction books for him as well. So now I'm updating my reading focus board. This is just a small bulletin board that I have in my classroom. So I display the vocabulary with this small pocket chart that I got at the Target dollar spot. It was only $1, and they seem to carry them every year around back to school time. So my vocabulary words are just printed out, laminated, and I store the definition behind the vocabulary word. I only focus on 6 of the words in a week because it's too hard just to focus on any more than that. My kids get confused, but I do like to put all the words out so that they're exposed to them. And this is really good for like early finishers. You can always have them come grab all the cards and play it like a matching game, and then just put them back when they're done. These are the comprehension cards, and they're laminated and they're just hooked together with this book ring, and I just hang them right there on the push pin so that they're easily accessible. And here's where I display the reading strategy. I also should have an essential question, but to be honest, that almost never gets done. But these reading strategy posters are from Amy Grossbeck. I'll try to remember to put the link down in the description. This is just a dry erase sleeve, and then my posters are laminated just for durability, so all I have to do is slide it in there. And I store the ones that I'm not using right here in this tray. I figured there's no reason putting them in a binder when I'm going to update it every week. So I just leave them right here, and I'm able to really quickly pull out the one that I need and slip it in there. And then under this pencil is just the bag that the vocabulary cards were in. That way, when I'm done at the end of the week, I can just quickly put them in there and put them back in the bin. So I know this is really sad because I showed you guys these on Wednesday and told you that I was going to give them to my kids, but I ended up not giving them to them until today because their behavior was just awful. And I kind of held it over their heads all week, and I don't feel bad about it. And I'm pretty sure I planned it. Yep, there's one cookie left for me. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do each day next week. I'm going to wait until I sit down this weekend to really plan. So for now, I'm just going to leave these papers here stacked up, and then when I come in next week, I'll just quickly sort them into my bins. So I kind of feel like half of my vlogs are just me eating food, and I'm not mad about it. All right, so it's about 5 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I didn't get like actual planning done, but again, I like to do that on my couch. I have no problem doing that over the weekend, especially because it's a long weekend. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go to Goodwill because I have not been there in like a couple weeks, probably close to a month. Even though the last thing I need right now is more books for my classroom library because it's like currently busting at the seams, but for me, it's just one of those things that makes me really happy. I love going to Goodwill and going through the books and picking out children's books for my library. So I'm gonna go do that just to help with my good mood for the day. I'm trying to hold strong. I'm gonna go home and I'm going to check the mail because I think I have some things from Amazon coming in that I wanted to show you all. And then I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna edit this video, and after I get it put up, I'm gonna work on getting the rest of those Common Core cheat sheets up in my TPT store. Right now I only have 2nd grade. I'm gonna work on the other grade levels, I promise. I'm also going to get my objectives up. I know you guys have asked about my objectives that I post on my board, and I had them done in a file, but I slightly changed them and I'm trying to be more like in depth with them. Guys, I'm a huge perfectionist, I'm sorry. So it takes me forever to get products up just because I have really high standards and they have to meet that standard before they go up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I got from Goodwill. So first I got this huge thing of Jenga blocks. These were only $3 for the entire container, and the blocks are all in really good condition, and there's a ton of them, and I really, really love Jenga blocks for review games. I'm sure I'll show you guys in a future vlog how I use those. Then for books, I got Because of Winn-Dixie. This is one of my favorites to do with my high group for literature circle, so I always grab a copy of that whenever I can. Same thing with Shyla, one of my favorites, so I always grab extra copies. These I was really excited about. These are all the brand new Juna B. Jones books, and these books feel like they haven't even been used before. So at my Goodwill, the children's books are 3 for $1. So they're about 34 cents a piece. So yes, I got the exact same book twice because they had it, and when it's only 34 cents, I cannot beat that, so I always grab them. Same thing with this Magic Treehouse book. This is like brand new, feels like it hasn't even been opened before, so I could not pass that up. I'm a huge Dave Pilkey fan, and my boys really, really like the Captain Underpants books. Even some of my girls, I loved them when I was a kid, so I always grab those. Frindle is another one of my favorites for literature circles. I showed you guys in one of my last vlogs that I bought like 8 copies of this. I got them for $1 each, but I still like to buy extra copies just because sometimes they get, you know, lost or whatever, so I like to have extras. Chocolate Fever is another one of my favorites for literature circles, so I grabbed that. Oh my gosh, come on Michelle, you can tell it's Friday. Juna B. Jones, I always grab those as well. My kids love them, and as long as the book is in good shape, I get those. And another Dave Pilkey book, Ricky Ricotta's Mighty Robot. So I've gotten a lot more picky, I guess, with my books. When I first started going to Goodwill, I would just buy pretty much anything I could find. But now that I've had to really go through and organize my classroom library, I only buy books that either I'm going to use in small group or that fit into the library categories I already have. So series books or books by a specific author I will almost always get, but I don't really buy books anymore just for the sake of buying them. I don't have the room for it anymore, so I've had to get a lot more thrifty with my books. But still, I'm able to go and get a fair amount of books, and altogether, I think this was like $6. Also, my Amazon order came, and to be honest, I don't even remember everything that I got, so this should be fun. Let's see. What are these? Oh, these are, small magnetic bookmarks, and they came in a bunch of different colors. And I thought these would be really good for guided reading. I showed you guys some of the magnetic bookmarks that I got for like my planner and my teacher lesson plan binder. But these, I saw them on Amazon, and I thought these would be really good for the kids to like locate different information in the text and mark it with a color. So I got these. It was a couple dollars. I'll put them in my Amazon store under teacher favorites. Okay, so these are the smaller charging cords that I talked about earlier. So these are going to be used for my iPads. These are 5 inches long, and I will put these in my Amazon store. Now they are kind of pricey, I'm not gonna lie, but to have it more organized and not have the cords all over the place, I think it's worth it. Bad thing was they didn't come in a 5-pack. So there was a 4-pack, that was the biggest that they came in. A 4-pack was $27.99. And then I just bought an extra single one, and I think the single one by itself, I want to say was like $8.99. So it was kind of pricey, but I just needed it. And if I'm going to be using these iPads for the next couple years, like it's really not that bad of an investment. Okay, these I'm super excited for. So I showed you guys my lesson planning binder, and I showed you how I just kind of attached the cover page to the dividers I already had. And I knew that I did not like that. It works for now, but I knew ultimately I wanted to get basically dividers that were like a sheet protector, so you could just put your own paper in it. So I'm pretty sure that's what these are. I'm gonna have to open it and make sure, but from the description, yeah, I mean, they're basically sheet protectors, and you can see they have the tabs on the ends. Now, I can tell these tabs don't feel like super sturdy, so I'm sure I will update you guys in my next vlog how it turns out, but I like that I will be able to put my cover pages right into these dividers, and I think these were only like $4 something, less than $5, so I'll put these in my Amazon store as well if you're interested in them. All right, this lighting is just not helping me out here, but I'm gonna end the video here because I need to sit down, edit this, get it put up on YouTube, and then start to tackle the rest of my to-do list. So if you are not already subscribed to me, I would really appreciate it if you did so. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and give me any questions you have down in the comments. It can be about me, it can be about teaching, about YouTube, TPT, whatever it is. I'm gonna do my best to answer as many as I can in one of my next videos. It won't be the next one, but it is coming, I swear. So thank you so much for watching as always, guys, and I will catch you in my next video.